let's just have a listen to what this finished patch sounds like. And we can play a game of guess the source material here as I strip away all the layers of modulation and effects to reveal the original source which is creating this patch. So we actually have nothing coming from the oscillators here. This just happens to incidentally be in there, so let's get rid of that. We do have some CV going into the end point of the looper. Take that out. Got a little bit of CV going into the ambience. Let's get rid of that. Filter also. Let's lose that. And resonator. So here we go. And if we get rid of the ambience, get rid of the echo, get rid of the filter, get rid of the resonator, here we have the source material. And it was a drum loop which, before I put that CV in, was actually running in time. It's not in time at the moment. So that was that. So moving on to the next patch, and for this patch there is quite a lot of detail. It's quite harsh sounding, quite digital sounding, but there's quite a lot of detail in there. Headphones would be a good option if you want to get the most out of this. We are starting with a sequence running. We have some CV going into the oscillator, and we also have some CV going into the filter, which will modulate the filter. We have a clocked LFO again, which is going into the looper. And the looper is I've just adjusted the start and end points from the drum loop from the previous patch. And I'm getting this rather harsh sounding. There we go. A little bit of filter on it. So that's that, but the main body of this is the super saw wave. And that's the sequence that we hear. And then we bring in the filter. Well, actually, before we do that, sine wave as well. Just adds a little bit of body underneath. Just a little bit of body there. And what we can do now is bring in this quite ugly sounding loop segment. You can just hear that. Let's bring in the filter, which introduces all sorts of textures there. Yeah, lots of wobbles. And it sort of makes this looper segment, it's almost vocal, it's like some robot voice trying to communicate something to us. Resonator, we can add a bit of that, which again brings in a little bit more harshness. And of course, wonderful echo on this device. Let's bring that back slightly. Okay. And all of a sudden it becomes a fairly complex, fairly deep ambient drone. Let's clear the filter a bit. Resonance fairly high. I mean, there's a lot going on here. I really like this actually. Yeah, there are lots of subtle little rhythms unfolding within the sequence. Yeah. Back off the resonance slightly. And there we have it.